when this morning, first thing I got was an email from Sonia about a dyslexic artist having an art exhibition, and it reminded me that when I came back to Australia 8 years ago, my ambition was to resurrect my art career. I've been really sick. I've been in and out of hospital. I came back to Australia because my health was so bad in Scotland. And I came back and my whole aim all the way along has been to semi-retire and to resurrect my art career. Now, as aims go, I've not done too well. In fact, I think you could say it's a failure of the century. First mistake I made was to go to Dyslexia Spelled. But I mean, hey, they were selling my books. The first editions of these they were selling. So I went and said, I said, can I help in some way? And they said, you can teach adults. And I said, well, yeah, can't everyone? And they said, we've got this course to write. We've been sitting there for 2.5 years. So I wrote a course for TAFE, for dyslexics, specifically for dyslexics. First one in the Southern Hemisphere. Quite interesting. So then they said, now you've got to run it. So I said, no, I can't run a TAFE course forever. So then they said, well, you've got to educate lecturers so that they can run it. So I wrote a seminar, PowerPoint seminar, still got it. Then gave it to the lecturers so that they could run the course. Then what happens? Spell went to the seminar and they said, hey, this is a brilliant seminar. Can you give it to all the schools and TAFEs, colleges? And I thought, okay, fine. So I did that. And then Read Right Now found me and they said, can you give it to us? We want to give it to the groups. And then they said, can you write us a course? And then Spell said, can you write these books for us, Australia versions? So I thought, okay, good, I'll get a life eventually. Meanwhile, students kept coming, friends, and they all had friends who were dyslexic, so I have hundreds of them. And 2 years on, built the studio, built the gallery, never been in it. So I'm thinking, okay, this isn't working. As a plan, it's not working too well. I was still quite sick, of course, by the way. And I was thinking, this isn't working too well. And then I thought, right, okay, I will write a book containing everything I know, and I will send this book out to the world, and I'll educate the teachers. The key teachers will then educate the kids. That's a good plan. Good plan? Does it sound like a good plan? Yeah. Sounded like a good plan to me. Right, okay, so I got the book. It took a lot of work to put most of what you know in one book. Managed to do it. Spell, meanwhile, everyone I knew had disappeared and they became kind of fairly useless. So I thought, right, I'll get it published. So 4 publishers, very interesting. Finally, they send it to someone who's an expert, PhD in learning difficulties. He looks at it and says, there's no long words. It's all in plain English and it's simple and there's very few references. We don't want that. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll be dead before it gets published at this rate. They all took about 4 months to reject it. So I thought, okay, I'll publish it myself. Set up a publishing company. Websites to sell it. So, big job, have to learn how to write websites. Do that, get the website, sell the book, and I thought, aha! That gets the book out to the world. The world will educate itself. No. What it did was it brought the world to me. Now I'm emailed every day from California, the UK, Sydney, Melbourne. Can I access them? Can they come across? And they come from Sydney. They haven't come from California yet. But, alright, so, and then, having done all that, Deanne comes to me and says, I know the solution. Summer schools. People have these summer schools, they only run them 2 or 3 months a year, and they retire for the rest of the year. We thought, great, yes, summer schools, brilliant. Get them in mass. Educate them, educate the teachers, educate the families, educate the kids. So we looked into it and it turned out to be too costly. So we said, okay, what we do then is we set up a centre. Once we've got a centre, we can run the summer schools and educate the people. And so Dyslexic Centre Australia started. Have you any idea how much work that is involved in setting up a centre, getting it registered as a charity, getting a fundraising licence? Do this, I did every single thing. For this thing, I have designed, I have written, I've spent hours working on slogans, proudly supporting everyone who learns differently. Done all that, got the centre, nearly got the centre to come. Sonia contacts me and says, okay, can I have your help setting up a school? And I thought, oh, what the hell not? Within 3 weeks, it was being talked about as a chain of schools. Well, we're going to have one north of the river, south of the river. Well, what about Sydney? What about Melbourne? Everywhere. So somehow, as a system, someone who's supposed to have an IQ of the top of the scale has made the most spectacular failure of their life. There is absolutely no chance now of my resurrecting my art career. And when I got the book written, I even built a second house in Phuket with a studio, thinking, aha, I can retreat there, but I haven't been able to get out for a year. So we now have a massive thing that's moving that I have to see through to the end. So we have to get the centre working, we have to get the school. having dedicated my life to doing this so far, it has to happen. We have to have an actual centre. We need it. Absolutely need it. And the more I looked into this, the more I looked into what was really going on, the more desperate I found Australia to be. It's unbelievable how bad the education system is here for dyslexic kids. Really, really unbelievable. And the more I found out, the more determined I became to forget my art career and to actually do this. And now we have a lot of backing from a lot of parents. Thank you.